Hello, I'm Brian Gleason, Global President of the Turnaround Management Association. I'm here in Las Vegas at the Distressed Investing Conference, where 900 turnaround and restructuring professionals meet this week. Today, we're going to meet with some of those professionals to learn about why they come and what's happening in the turnaround and restructuring industry. Ken, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, great to meet with you.
Absolutely, my friend.
Hi, I'm Sari. How are you?
I think a lot of companies are facing troubles with tariffs, supplies, demand, employees. Sales tax seems to be a really big issue lately. But one thing I'm noticing is that these companies have to consider the cost of a Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is an expensive option, which is then sometimes why we try and discuss alternatives to a bankruptcy if that's not possible.
Hi, I'm Rachel Smiley. I'm the 2026 TMA Global Chair. I'm really pleased to be joined by Jenny Fabian, a longtime TMA member.
What I'm seeing is creditors move to other types of remedial action, including UCC Article 9 transactions, state court receiverships, federal receiverships, or other out-of-court options that are less expensive and perhaps get the creditors where they want to be faster.
So Rob, you and I have been competitors for 30 years.
Right.
And yet, here we are. So talk about that.
We all have competition, but we all need friends when we're conflicted out, right? Or you're on the other side of the deal. It's better to know the people you're dealing with as friendly competitors than strangers. We can serve our clients, the community, and all the stakeholders better.
I don't know if you've met yet, huh?
I think we've met at a conference probably.
Bankruptcy can fit in certain cases,
Yeah.
but in the lower middle market, it's become extremely expensive. The failure rate in the lower middle market for a successful discharge is well above 80%. So it's not a good fit for the lower middle market. And what Article 9 or out-of-court restructuring allows you to do is make business decisions that increase value.
This guy. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Good. I do feel that the courts are having hearings a little quicker for issues that are absolutely emergent, issues that are necessary for the debtors and all the other parties that are involved to have heard and a decision made so that the company could get along, can move forward with its restructuring.
The TMA, my career took off. And TMA is a part of that. Being invested in this at all the different levels, the meetings I come to, the shows, that has made the difference, and just being consistent with that. That's why New Point is where it is in the trajectory it's on, because of being at the TMA.
It's a real success story.
Absolutely.
TMA is a great crowd for us. We have a bankruptcy data platform, so we track distressed and bankrupt securities, and this is our prime market.
Yeah, and you come here mostly to get shoe shines, but
He's doing a great job.
have you built relationships at this event?
We build relationships with clients we've had for years, and I've met new clients and specifically people that I've been talking to for 20 plus years for the first time today.
And look at those shoes. Those shoes look great.
They were flip-flops when we started.
They were flip-flops when he started.
I mean, the people that you meet and how they can help you out on deals or just have a relationship. Right now, one thing that we are continuing to see, because we work with privately held companies often, is we're dealing with a lot of second or third generation business owners who are, one, they're tapped out on liquidity in the company, but also outside of the company. They want partners to help them with their transition plan into retirement.
Have you been to TMA before?
I have. Yes. How many years have you been coming?
Oh, this is my third one coming to the DIC.
I'm Michael Petrarca, New York City Rise Alliance.
Why don't you tell us what a merchant cash advance is and how MCAs are collecting and how does that impact the senior creditors?
They're very aggressive. So let's say the SBA or the ABL or a factor that's in first position, an MCA upon default will jump the line to try to collateralize and foreclose on the receivable. That may or may not be theirs. We do the restructuring. Businesses that are priced out of middle market, enterprise level restructuring firms.
There's a lot of macro issues that are out there. And if you think about, I mean, it's over the last year, there's been a lot of turbulence in the markets, right? Between the tariffs and our exposure to other countries, which have really dramatically impacted a lot of the clients that we have. But on the flip side of it, though, I think the overarching theme always is what we see in the clients that are having issues is the management.
So often, management has been through tough times before. This isn't their first business cycle where they're having trouble. But what happens oftentimes is that for whatever reason, this business cycle is different. And the tools that they may have used in the past just aren't working this time.
Hi, I'm Pauline Chow.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are the opportunities going to come for opportunistic capital?
I don't think that the debt funds of the world, the more expensive capital, is going to ever displace the more traditional banks. That's always going to be the cheaper capital. There's structures so that you can use if you have a multi-tranche deal.
I've made fantastic relationships, personal and business. And I can point to lawyers and investment bankers that I've engaged in work with. You meet people, you cultivate relationships, and that's how you generate work in this business.
Wilton and Bain.
Oh, okay.
What used to be just a case of arbitrage, of your portfolio companies will grow in value, this, that's not the case anymore. So now you need people with a turnaround and restructuring experience to come in and really help push the needle as it relates to value. So the reason I work in private equity is I've just followed that line of, followed the money, so to speak.
Sure.
This industry gets a bad rep. We get told that restructuring people are butchers, they come in and slice and dice. Someone, early on when I was recruiting and restructuring, someone said to me, we are the last line of defense. We are the people for whom the company has everything riding on. Before it goes down, if you're on a debtor side, we are the last people standing. And you see people are fighting for their companies, they're fighting for their clients. There's not a lot that people in this room wouldn't do. And I love that. There's a real character about that.
I think that the really important part of the Turnaround Management Association is the people who make up the organization, and then what they're actually doing for the businesses and the people who are employed by those businesses. And these people that make up TMA are really the people on the street, boots on the ground, brains in the rooms that are making things happen for the industry at large.
This is the premier event, hard stop. Best place to be, so many people here, so many decision makers. It helps us build the relationships, and everything that we do is based on relationships. If you are in this industry, you need to be here.
This is the center of the distressed investing universe where all of the best restructuring professionals gather. So I come here to learn. I come here to improve my craft. I come here to network with other people, all so that we can collectively provide a better service to the people in need out there. And over the years, conversations turned to friendships, turned to business discussions, turned to business engagements that ultimately help people save jobs and preserve business operations.
Well, have a great conference. Thank you.